I'll be back there. I swear.
Andrew.
Tell go. Your name right here. Your name not over there. My name not. Hey.
Where my name at? I'm not the first one. Give me your hat.
I'm different. You can't have that. I'm different.
Can I get you to look down at me?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. Obviously, an exciting day for our student athletes, certainly one of our favorite days of the year in the athletic department, at least. Always a good showing and support from our parents and fans and student athletes. So just quick housekeeping. If any parents want a program, there's some programs over there. Also, if anybody like grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles that couldn't make it, we are streaming this live from the Heights Tigers Athletics website. So if you want to shoot that out to any of those people, you're welcome to do that. We're going to start by introducing the athletes. They're going to have a chance to introduce themselves, let you know what they're doing and where they're going. The coaches will come up and say a little something about their student athletes, and then we will sign our letters of intent. So again, thank you all for coming. We're going to get started with Elena down here. Speak up.
I'm Elena. I'm going to go to Hiram College, and I'll be swimming.
Basketball. My name is Diego Brimmer, and I'm going to Walsh University. I want to thank God, my family, my friends, and my coaches and teammates.
My name is Nick McGee. I'm going to Ohio Dominican football. I want to thank God, my family, my coaches, and all my teammates and friends.
My name is Anthony Little. I'll be going to the Community Christian College. I want to thank my family, friends, teammates.
My name is Roy Holmes. I'll be going to Boston College. Thank my mom, my dad, coaches, and all the dudes I play with. My name is Justin Watley. I want to thank all my family, Ms. Spivey, everybody in the stands, everybody who's been supporting me, and I'll be attending the University of Cincinnati. Hi, my name is Andrew Moore. I'll be attending Ohio State University, and I'll be planning on majoring in industrial design. I just want to thank my family, coaches, teammates, for everything.
My name is Jerron Harder. I'd like to thank my family, God, coaching staff, the players I play with. I'll be attending Ohio Dominican University.
Hey everybody, my name is Felon Martin. I'll be going to Tufts University to major in pre-med and to play football. So thank you.
How y'all doing? My name is Shamar Turner. I'll be attending University of Maine College, majoring in business.
Hi, I'm Dan Moody. I'm the swim coach. Just want to say something quick about Elena, since I know most of you are here to see her. We all know she's an excellent swimmer. She wouldn't be swimming in college if that wasn't the case. She's probably our first female college signee, probably in the last 15 years. Our first female, yeah. and also first female districts qualifier in that time. So she's really, really grown as a swimmer. But that's not the complete story. Last I checked, I think GPA was 4.2, is that right? 4.2 plus. She's also an extremely accomplished artist. So what she's looking to do in college is something along the lines of psychology, art therapy, and something that's going to help others. So that's kind of how she's been. She's pushed me to be a better coach. She's pushed her teammates, as they all know too well. To call her intense, would probably offend her because she would say that you didn't call her intense enough. She's very driven, very much about doing the right thing and bringing all the others along with her. So I'm really proud of her, and I know she's going to do really well. Thank you.
How everybody doing? I'm the head coach of the men's basketball team, and two of my guys, Garvin Clark and Jerron Harden, are signing today. And I'm gonna talk more about Garvin with the basketball aspect. I took the job, and then everybody kept saying Garvin is coming. He's a great basketball player, but what they didn't tell me is how good of a kid he was, how respectful he was, how much he wanted to learn, and just how much effort and intensity he put in on the basketball court. So I think that says a lot about him, because he just, when guys are the man, so they say at the different schools, they come in with a different attitude, and his attitude has always been, Coach, I want to get better, Coach, I want to learn. So I appreciate Gar for that. I want the work he put in the off season on the basketball court, and the work he's put in here at Cleveland Heights with his grades. People really don't talk about. Those are the behind the scenes things that everybody doesn't see, and that mean the most. So I'm proud to be able to say that I coached Garv, and Jerron, he came from the football team, and he brought a attitude to our team that's unmatched. With the way how hard he plays and the things that he does for us on and off the court words can't say. So I'm proud of both of them guys and wish them best of luck in their next endeavor.
Good afternoon, Coach Max Stevens, head football coach. First of all, congratulations to the other athletes that are signing their national letter of intent. A while back, when the current staff was originally hired, the goal was to try to get as many young men into college as possible. And one of the parents from my first year sent a video from our very first signing ceremony this morning. And one of the things we talked about is following the blueprint. The blueprint is simply a philosophy that we've incorporated into our football program, and it's just made up of the following three pillars. I'm talking about this because these young men had to follow that in order to get to this day. The first pillar is academic excellence. Academic excellence means something different for each and every one of these young men. But for a young man like Cullen Martin, who has, I don't even know how high his GPA is, it's 4.76, something like that. But he's got an opportunity to go to one of the most prestigious academic institutions in the country because he understood what that blueprint is. Secondly, just being socially responsible, knowing how they should act in the classroom and how they should carry themselves in the hallways, and understanding authority and allowing themselves to be coached. And lastly, it's just athletic effort, giving us everything they have as athletes, and if they can follow those three things, in the end, good things are going to happen. So here we are today because these young men embodied those three elements. First young man, Diego Bremer. Diego transferred to Cleveland Heights, I believe, last January. At the time, appeared to be a very quiet young man, but One thing about Diego, he always worked hard, runs his mouth a lot now, but no, Diego worked hard, gained the respect of his teammates, eventually was elected a captain, and really set the tone for our defense early in the season, and just sets the tone as a person. A big congratulations to Diego. Secondly, Nick McGee. I was aware of Nick from coaching against Nick when he played at Warrensville High School. Was a very good athlete, and I had an opportunity to get to know him, and probably one of the more competitive young men on our team, brought fire on game day, unlike most young men, but just left it all on the field. Very emotional young man, but has an opportunity to become a very successful young man as long as he stays on this current track of success. Again, Nick, congratulations. Anthony Little, guy that makes me laugh every time I talk to him, but Anthony, again, a very good football player, had to be challenged in a way that probably wasn't used to being challenged, but again, allowed himself to be coached, and was one of our more valuable defensive players, and will be attending Christian Community College. This next young man, I was just having a conversation with his father before the ceremony, and we were just talking about some conversations I had with Boston College and their coaching staff, and their coaching staff is really high on him. In fact, they brought in the head coach along with one of the assistant coaches, and the coach couldn't say enough good things about this young man, and it goes beyond the obvious, which is what you see on the football field, but when you talk to him and see how he carries himself, he's different. He's a difference maker, and he has a great opportunity to further his education at a phenomenal university or phenomenal college in Boston College. But he too became one of our elected captains, and was just a great example for all of the young guys moving forward. Giovanni Holmes. This next young man, been a 4-year guy here at Cleveland Heights. His dad is one of our defensive coordinators, or is our defensive coordinator. Justin was a big, happy, go-lucky kid as a freshman and sophomore. Sometimes drove me crazy, but was a hell of a football player, worked hard, put himself in a position to be recruited by some of the major colleges and universities across the country. Has a very bright future, and I think he's going to do some great things. Justin Watley. This next young man, approximately a year ago, hadn't played football, had approached me and said he's going to come play football. I said, okay, start working out with the team. He started coming up to the sports plant and just putting in extra work and doing everything that he could to kind of get caught up as a football player. I know at times throughout the season he wanted to play even a different role than what he did, but he stayed with it, always worked hard, practiced hard, and did well at the Ohio State camp this summer, and caught a couple coaches' eyes, and they invited him to be a part of their program, Andrew Moore. Next young man, again, another obviously a good football player, phenomenal football player. Brought a different intensity to practice every day for his position, considered a big receiver, played a big role in our record being 9-1, and now is doing some great things on the basketball court, Jerron Harden. So this next young man, when I first met him, he had come to my workout facility, kind of nervous, trying to figure out if he really belonged there. Very weak at the time, didn't lift a lot of weight, questioned himself, questioned me several times, and Coach, I don't know if this is for me, but stuck with it and just became a phenomenal football player, but I think more importantly is a phenomenal person. Academically, one of the smartest young men I've ever been around or been associated with. Had some frustrations here and there. He and I have had countless conversations about things, you know, beyond football. But I am just so proud of what he's been able to accomplish. But I have to comment on the what his scholarship, what it amounts to over 4 years, because, you know, when you talk about the Heights blueprint, Cullen Martin, he meets all three pillars to the point of having a scholarship that covers $288,000 over 4 years. And lastly, before I talk about this last young man, there are two people that aren't here. Javion Holcomb, who is also going to commit to Vermilion College, and my man over there, Jalen Benson. I'm working on some things. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Jalen really quick, because he should be up here. Jalen couldn't finish the season. Had a season-ending injury, but we'll have an opportunity to get a free college education. Lastly, I've been knowing this young man since his Pee-wee days. His mom has helped me extensively in the operation of the North Coast Youth Football Conference. She's a board member. He has gotten better each year, and we've had to have some tough talks early on, and eventually he bought in and was one of our better players this past season. Had a great year, and has an opportunity to do some special things on the next level. Shamar Turner. Before I turn the mic over to Joe, I just want to say to some of the young guys that are in the stands, some of the guys that are returning, you all have an opportunity to sit at this table next year. You know, myself, Coach Hicks, Coach Biggs, Coach Watley, Coach Damon, and some of the other coaches that are here, we're going to do everything in our might to put you in a position to be successful. But ultimately, if you take care of academics, if you stay out of trouble, and you put forth effort, you'll be at this table next year. That's the one thing I will promise. Now, as to what school you go to, that's on you. But if you buy in and allow yourself to be coached, and it starts in the off season, it starts in the classroom, some phenomenal things will happen for you. So, you know, and with that being said, the coaching staff, we have a phenomenal coaching staff. You know, being the head coach, obviously, I get a lot of credit for different things, but have one of the most dynamic coaching staffs in the area, if not the most dynamic. And a lot of coaches behind the scenes have put in a lot of work and effort into making this happen. And to you parents, you know, I thank you guys for allowing us to coach your sons, and thank you for believing in what we're trying to do here at Cleveland Heights. Thank you.
Thank you, coaches. All right, guys, it's that time. If you want to open up your folders and sign your national letter of intent. All right. Well, again, thank you to all the parents and the community that come out and support our student athletes. Obviously, we're very proud of what they do here on the field and in the classroom. We'll surely be watching them as they continue on in life. We're excited to see that, and you know they can always come find us back here. So, again, thank you all for coming. Yeah. Hey, you guys sit still for a second, though. I need a picture of it. Hey, sit still, sit still.